y'all? Welcome back to Talking Spit After Hours. We're your hosts, TJ Bay and Alan Poe. Before we get started, man, I just want to bless niggas real quick. Take y'all back for a moment. Check this shit out. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. For those who don't know, this might be the greatest player of all time. That's right. He has gold bond for powder. Icy hot nigga. Had niggas cutting their head bald with sideburns on. You know what I'm saying? We all know who it is. If you don't know, this is your boy Shaquille O'Neal. Love, love, push and shove. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like he didn't eat. Don't, for y'all out there, don't act like he wasn't the nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Took it to a whole other level on y'all. But now, we're back. I'm gonna let T, introduce himself and let him explain what we're doing today.
Outstanding was better.
Outstanding was better. What do you mean?
Shaq's outstanding song was better than that one.
Well, that's who was playing.
That was outstanding.
Yes.
I can get to hear the beat.
Oh, you couldn't hear it? Okay. Well, I thought you could.
I mean, the chorus part was just outstanding.
Well, that's the G.O.A.T band, but it's
Right.
a sample. This is a sample.
It is a sample. It was a very good sample song, though.
I guess not. So what's up, man?
So today, what I like to do, Al's in a goofy ass mood, so whatever.
Oh yeah,
I'm here. I am here to do exactly what my background is saying, right behind me. And this is what I'm about to do to y'all today. Is I'm about to spit some game, lace y'all boots up. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all need to be educated on this matter. So just for a few things we're going to be talking about here, a couple sports topics, and we're also going to talk about the media. So the first topic that we would like to get into, because it seems to be the debate, you know what I'm saying, is the greatest of all time. I don't like to say GOAT, really. I just like to say the whole thing. I just say the GOAT now because I go along with the, people on
the
it.
times. You're just going along with the times.
Yeah. If you know how kids is, if you don't say it like that, then, you ain't hip.
Right.
So I'm trying to be hip. So in this episode, I will use the word GOAT, but I usually say the greatest of all time. So we're going to be talking about the NBA basketball situation here, and not why, and who is the actual GOAT, in my opinion. And I'm going to give you some reasons why. And Al's going to try to rebuttal those reasons.
I'm not going to rebuttal. I'm just going to let you guys know what it is. So go ahead.
Let me know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me educate you, my brother. All right. So, first of all, what I would like to discuss here is the GOAT situation. Who is the greatest player of all time? In my opinion, that is Michael Jordan. I don't need to say why, but...
No, I mean, plead your case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, plead my case.
Yeah, why is Jordan the greatest of all time? I'd like to know, and I'm sure everyone out there would like to know as well, right? Everyone, you like to know, right?
No, we'd like to hear you say Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, and then I'll continue.
No, he's not the greatest of all time.
All right, so what I'm about to say here is literally not some hot takes and shit like that. It is literally, I am just spitting facts and shit like that, because I I don't like doing that hot take shit. How I feel is how I feel, and it's usually has, you know what I'm saying, some thought behind it. So here we go. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time because credentials, man.
No,
You want
I mean, I'm dropping my mic. I'm still waiting to hear why he's the greatest of all time. Like, spit it out,
okay.
man.
Everybody wants to go on stats. Okay, stats this, stats that. Everybody stats. You don't go on stats. You go on credentials, man. Stats
Okay.
can lie to you.
Okay.
Stats can lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So just like for this certain situation, I'll use an example here. LeBron versus Michael Jordan. The reason why LeBron cannot be the greatest of all time is because his credentials don't make him the greatest of all time. Okay.
Credentials in basketball.
Credentials in basketball.
Okay.
Now, greatest of all time, I am referring to on the court. I'm
Okay.
not talking about,
Extra
public
correct. Yeah.
liability.
Okay. Business wise, you're not talking about business.
Right.
You're talking about just them on the court. Okay.
Right. So just them on the court. I am talking about credentials. So what I did was I took the time and went and looked up the basketball reference. And yes, people would thought I looked at stats because, stats are stats or whatever. And since I noticed that LeBron has also been playing 6 more years than Michael Jordan, of course, his stats are going to eclipse him by a lot.
Right.
So we can't use stats as the barrier for the greatest of all time. That's why we have to go to credentials. And what I found in the NBA reference guide was pretty interesting. Now, if you sit here and you read off Michael Jordan's credentials compared to LeBron's credentials, you will see that there's no way that LeBron can be considered the greatest of all time. So that argument right now is nullified for anyone else. Okay. Michael Jordan, listen there. No, wait. I'll do LeBron first because Michael Jordan is going to eclipse everything. LeBron is an 18-time All-Star. That's pretty good. That is pretty damn good. And considered he has 20 years of NBA service, that's really damn good. So that's 90% of the time he's been in the league, he's been an all-star. Nice. Okay. 2007 scoring champ. Okay. 2008 scoring champ. Sorry. 2019, 2020 assist champ. 4-time. Let's see. What is that?
So you're reading off stats.
No, I'm reading out credentials.
Oh, credentials would be stats.
Credentials are not stats.
Okay. Well, let's go.
18-time All NBA, 2003, 2004 All Rookie, 2003 Rookie of the Year, to the 3-time All-Star MVP, 6-time All Defensive Team, 4-time League MVP, 4-time League Final MVP. Yeah, that's pretty good credentials for 20-year span. Okay, so now when I go to Jordan's, and this is why I separated, and then I'll tell you more why, because I know you're arguing that there is no greatest, and then I'll tell you why there is. So just with Michael Jordan, I noticed 10-time scoring champion, 3-time steal champion, 11-time All NBA, 6-time NBA champ, 1984-85 All Rookie Team, 1984-85 Rookie of the Year, 9-time All Defensive Team, 3 times as the All-Star MVP, 5 league MVPs, and 6 finals MVPs. Now, listening to those credentials, how could you say that LeBron is greater than Michael Jordan?
Well, first of all, I'm not saying LeBron is greater than Michael Jordan.
I know you're not,
What I'm
but
what my take is that Jordan is not the GOAT.
okay.
Okay. Personally, so he was you said 10-time scoring champion, correct?
10-time scoring champion out of 13 years of service.
Right. So 6 of those years he had to share the ball with Scottie Pippen, which means that he had what, 7? He had 7 years of ball hogging and shooting the ball because he was on the offense, right? So of course you know, if you can score, if you need to score, and you have the ball in your hands at all times, and all you do is score, of course you're going to win scoring champion because you have no one else on your squad, right?
You're saying Scottie Pippen probably averaged around 17 to 20 points every year he was with Jordan.
So how many times? So I also looked this up, right? So for me, Jordan can't possibly be the GOAT when his first 7 years he got bounced from the playoffs or never even made the playoffs. LeBron's second or third year took him straight to the finals with some bums.
You're referring to 1 year that LeBron took the team to the finals,
So
and
we
then
also
he's considering.
hold on. But what I'm saying is when LeBron got into the playoffs, he didn't leave the playoffs until his first year with the Lakers.
He
So
didn't.
so
He
that's a
didn't.
he
He
didn't
didn't
leave the playoffs. He was
leave the
either
playoffs.
he was either in the playoffs or in the conference finals or in the finals
Okay.
until his first year with the Lakers.
Okay.
And not to mention, he took most of those squads with Cleveland. Now, the only time that he had help were his 3 years in Miami, right? Okay. So then he went back to Cleveland.
Skip. You're starting to be the black Skip Bayless now.
No,
So go ahead.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
explaining. I'm just explaining
All
what's going
right. Go
on.
ahead.
So he had 3 years with Miami, lost the first
Mm,
one, and won two back to back. Right? Went to Cleveland, won that one, and then lost one. So
okay.
Whereas Jordan didn't have help for 7 years, right? Until he got Scotty, Horace Grant, right? That's a big three within itself. And then he finished off his run with Scotty and Dennis Rodman. So I'm just trying to find out why is he the greatest, right? So if you look behind me, right,
Okay.
that's Spike Lee, aka Morris Blackman, right? I'm sorry, Mars Blackman. So when I talk about how Jordan or how you talk about Jordan's the greatest, my thing is more or less it was more used as or he was brought up on a certain plateau because of marketing, right? So in the late 80s, early 90s, he was the first mega superstar athlete, right? Which to me blindfolded all you guys to thinking he was the greatest because he was the first one to have these big budget commercials hyping him up. Oh, Jordan, 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 Jordan. So us as kids, me personally, I was never on the Jordan bandwagon, but most people would be like, oh yeah, Jordan's the greatest. Now, imagine if before that time period, if that was done in the 80s, 70s, 60s, right? So it's a different entity because of the media. So the media hyped him up to have him being the greatest. To me, he's not the greatest. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is greater than Michael Jordan. Bill Russell's greater than Michael Jordan. If we're going off of statistics and wins and goals. So what what is your point?
Okay. Now, after that long, drawn out explanation of why you think Jordan is not the greatest, I'm gonna just keep it very simple. Okay. When we play basketball, what is coveted the most? What do basketball coaches, people covet the most? What kind of player do they covet most?
a hard worker? I mean, if you're a coach, you want someone who works hard at both ends. What are you talking about?
A hard worker. Okay. I mean, all right.
Hold on.
Anyways, no. I'm gonna
You
just
asked,
because
you
now
asked, hold on, you
you
asked,
asked and
what do
you
people
gave
covet the most?
the plainest dumbest shit. Okay, they covet what the people basketball coaches and people covet the most is a two-way player, a player that can play offense and play defense.
Isn't that just, I
And
just
no,
said
no,
that.
I'm not done. No, you
I
said a
just said
hard
that.
worker.
A
You
hard
said a
worker. I said
hard worker.
on both ends, which is the same
Man,
thing as a
I
two-way
didn't.
player.
Nobody heard no both ends.
Okay.
I heard a hard worker.
Okay.
All right. So what basketball people covet the most is a two-way player. That's why they say Kawhi is great. That's why they say Giannis is great. Any basketball player that can play offense and play defense is considered a great player.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I say Michael Jordan is the GOAT is because to me, he is the greatest two-way player that ever played the game. Now, if you do want to go to stats, which people do covet so much and which does back my case even more so, is if you are leading the league in scoring and you are also leading the league in any defensive category at the same time, where you are putting players, and you're also holding players field goal efficiency under 40% while scoring at a high level, you are great.
Okay. So I hear what you're saying. Jordan played, he was at upper echelon from the late 80s to mid 90s, right?
Yes.
But what happened once the new era of basketball player came in?
He was
couldn't
too
compete.
old.
He couldn't. What do you mean?
He was too old.
He was getting shook by Iverson. He wasn't too old then.
He got shook by Iverson.
But
Okay, there was a
but
new era.
listen to what I'm saying though.
So okay,
Listen to what I'm saying. So we're talking about the GOATs, and you want to bring up the comparison between LeBron and Jordan, right?
LeBron got his ankle broke plenty of times.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying though.
I'm go ahead.
Now, LeBron was able to compete and still be the number one dude in the NBA, no matter what level of competition came his way as the generations moved on. Jordan couldn't do that. Once Iverson came in and broke his legs down, it put a chink in his armor, shall I say?
Mm-hmm. No, because I could show you a bunch of, like I said, I could show you a bunch of times LeBron got crossed up as well. It didn't change the era or anything like that because everybody does it now. Jordan was playing, when Iverson came in, it was the end of Jordan's era. Okay, yeah, fine.
So,
all right, he got crossed up. It made him look old, which he was.
And but you're talking about eras, right? So when Jordan first came into the league and was dominating, he was at the tail end of the post-up era, right?
Traditional. I mean, yeah.
So which no one saw the likeness of him as of then at that time. So of course he was most dominant because it was like something no one's ever seen. Ooh, right? My thing is with LeBron, he's seen all the next generations come up and has still been able to compete with them and still be at a higher level than them. And I'm not saying that LeBron's the GOAT, but this is the argument that you're presenting.
I'm not presenting that. That's the one you're presenting. I'm saying Michael Jordan the GOAT.
No, you start off talking about LeBron against Jordan. That's what I'm saying.
So that's the argument that you're trying to rebuttal for everybody else.
No, I mean my GOAT is Kobe, which obviously gets overlooked. But hey, that's just what it is. But when it comes down to GOATs and time status, everyone has their GOAT. And like you said earlier, before the episode started, everyone has their GOAT. So whereas some people would be like, oh yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player ever. Bill Russell's the greatest player ever. And then in our era, me, it was Magic, and for some, it was Jordan. And then from Jordan went to Iverson. Niggas got tattoos and braids. And then from there it was Kobe, and then came LeBron. So it all depends on where you're at in life growing up. As a kid, who's being presented to you, who you would idolize to have your game after.
Well, me, when I was a kid, I never idolized Jordan. I was always a Warriors fan. Anybody who came up on the Warriors, that's who I liked. And matter of fact, my favorite Warrior of all time is the infamous Latrell Sprewell. And granted, we know what happened back in the day, but
You wouldn't play
what I'm saying?
games.
Yeah, you don't play with that man money, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I always thought I was Latrell Sprewell, and you knew that too, because when we was playing back in them days, everybody, when anybody would say anything, you know what I'm saying? Jason was Tim Hardaway, the white Tim Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? Rob was Rob was Kobe or somebody like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was Latrell Sprewell.
I was
Always.
I was Mount Matumbo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or and I ain't gonna lie, and I never liked him on any other team, but he used to be my favorite player, and that was Vince Carter.
Oh yeah. Well, that's another story. Vince Carter
Right.
he should have been a Warrior, but
He should have been a Warrior.
at that time, with the new team in hand, they needed that superstar power for the Raptors to be relevant. So that's why that happened.
But anyway, so yeah, that's funny that you said that too about Kobe, because you know what? I'm just gonna speak for myself right now because I have been right now. Anyways, just why Michael Jordan's the greatest, but I'm gonna just tell you my top 5 right now, and this is not no fucking hot take because I don't do that shit. So right now I have Jordan at number 1. I have Kareem at number 2. I have Kobe at number 3. And then I have LeBron at number 4.
Surprising. Okay, so we talk about the GOATs, right? So we have to look at all aspects of it, right? So we have to look at players who changed the game and that change, or those that changed the parameter of the game, right? So Jordan changed it to where it was not a high wire act, but it was more above the rim, correct?
Right.
So,
And he also changed it to where you also coveted two-way players a lot more because, like I said, he was defending. I mean, granted, it was the post up was still there and they had centers to cover, but I mean, from 1 to 3, Jordan can cover all 3 of them back in his prime. And so, that was that was what I was saying is the reason why he's the GOAT. But okay.
Now my question is, how come you don't have Steph in at least your top 3? Especially because when I say change the game, whereas Jordan changed it to above the rim, Steph has changed the game to the 3-point game. You know what I'm saying? Shooters. To where shooters are more coveted now in the NBA more than people who get to the basket.
I have Steph higher than a lot of these stupid analysts. So he's in my, let's just say Steph is like number 7 or 8 to me.
Really?
Yes, he's up there. I wouldn't put him in my top 3 because I've got to see every era, and I'm not gonna knock him because he's only 6'3" like that. It's just as far as like him changing the game and stuff like that. That's why he's top 10 period. He's in the top 10. There's no debate whether he might be 9, he might be 10. Nah, fuck no. He's in the top 10.
I mean,
and
he's definitely in top 7, like you said.
Yeah, he's in there. I don't give a shit what nobody else says because the man. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm saying he definitely he revolutionized basketball.
He revolutionized basketball, and he did it at an efficient rate.
No,
And he's he's short for the basketball standard.
that's what I was gonna say was it made basketball heightless.
Yep. He
Whereas
eliminated. He made it to where you have to almost like he almost literally single handedly eliminated centers out of the game of basketball.
not only that though, you got to think when we came up, you had to be a certain height to even go to the next level, right?
Yeah,
So he made it heightless to where it's like, hey, if you can shoot, you can shoot.
you can shoot.
If the man who's sticking you can't guard you, then you're
It
scoring
doesn't matter.
buckets. So he definitely changed it in that aspect. So that's kind of where the GOAT conversation, it to me it doesn't matter. It's going to be seamless no matter what, because every era is going to have that next player who can do everything or can change the game in a certain way. You know,
Can possibly change the game. Yeah,
so Jordan did it in his own fashion, and then now, Steph has done it in his own fashion. So
yeah.
what are we really saying? I mean, is Jordan the GOAT, or is he the GOAT of this particular time? Because I'm sure people will look back and look at like who changed the game. Jordan changed the game, right? And then everyone after Jordan kind of fell into, I wouldn't say into his playing scheme, but they all kind of played that way. And then
Right.
when Steph came through, now he has his own people or other people mimicking, or you know what I mean? Like I
Like
can't say mimicking, but
like
like
every no, like you said, like everybody said, like you said, you go into the local gym and you see these kids shooting from half court and shit
right.
like that. Mm.
And
And
hit
in the actual, yeah, in the actual, like during the actual pickup game, you see these
right.
kids shooting from half court and hitting them and shit like that. And then you just be like, oh yeah, that's Steph. You have to be like that Steph.
Yeah, so I mean,
But I mean, you can make a case, like you said, you can make a case for certain people and stuff like that. But in my mind, what I was just thinking, like, is if I would cover, like, even when I played basketball, for me, being a two-way player was what I was with like, nigga, I could score on anybody, but at the same time, because if you came down, nigga, I always, it was just like, I thought I was like GP, nigga, back in the days, nigga, you used to slap the floor, you know what I'm saying, and bring, and dare the nigga to bring it, you know what I'm saying, like, come on, nigga, you know what I'm saying, like,
come
nigga,
at me, come
yeah,
at me.
yeah, come on, get it, nigga. Oh, man, I remember those days, because see, we used to get ill on the court too, man. You know what I'm saying? We would do that in the game because, you know what I'm saying, people would come down, like a nigga thought he was gonna score and do some, crazy shit, crossing somebody up. Nigga, I'll slap the floor, everybody used to do it, slap the floor, like nigga, slap the floor, get in your defensive position, pull up your britches a little bit, nigga, niggas was like, oh yeah, that nigga ready, you finna D that nigga up, yeah.
Yeah, until you get
Then
crossed over
go,
like, ooh.
nah, that didn't happen to
I
me.
wasn't talking about. I wasn't talking about you per se. I was talking about how it was like, ooh, like you trying to get hyped up, like you
Yeah,
just slap the floor, and all of a sudden, nigga, they get shook, like, oh, nigga, why you slapping the floor, cuz?
yeah.
You
You can't
should
do it. Yeah,
never slap
you
the floor
can't do it
again,
if
cuz.
yeah. Don't do it if you ain't got no D skills, like for real. But I mean, it's I was just saying the reason I think he's the greatest to me is because I do covet the two-way player, and I think, in my opinion, coaches covet the two-way player the most. So that's why a lot of people would make him the greatest of all time. If you have 10 scoring titles and 9 defensive, I mean, first team all defensive NBA nods and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? That's well. All right, Al.
I,
I'll
I,
concede. I'll
no, 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 no,
concede.
no, no.
No, here, hold on, wait. I'll
Which
say
I
this. I'll
understand.
say this. I'll say this though. I'll concede he's the greatest two-way player of all time.
See, I can't. See, that's. Oh man. That's kind of where I'm at a standstill, only because it's like niggas forget about Scottie Pippen, cuz like Scottie Pippen was on those same defensive teams and was still
That was
scoring
what it.
points.
That was that was the reason why it would. Nigga, that's why. Man, y'all know the scores that yeah. Certain people like our generation knows the scores. Nigga, they barely back in them days. Nigga, the scores used to be 82 to 78. You know what I'm saying? 92 to 85. You know, shit like that. Them niggas never used to get in the hundreds. Really,
I put like this:
it's because them niggas used to lock niggas up on each side.
neither of them have won without each other.
A lot back then. A lot more people covered defense more so than just being able to super skill that offense and just getting along on defense. You know.
No, but what I'm saying is neither of them have won without each other. They were both the same player. They both had the same skill set, right? Neither of them have won a championship without each other.
I don't think so, but
How so?
no, I mean I don't think they would have won a championship without each other. I think
Gotcha,
they
yeah.
needed each other.
But how come he keeps getting overlooked though?
Nobody's overlooking Scottie Pippen. I'm not overlooking Scottie Pippen.
But a lot
Scottie
of people do.
Pippen was a lot of people do. It's just because Jordan overtakes. When you average 30 something points in the
But
like
why?
some consecutive seasons like that. Because man, what you mean? That's the scoring champ. That's the scoring champ. That's what that is.
No, that's marketing.
That's not marketing.
It is marketing.
If you're the scoring champ of the league, you're gonna get noticed. They got to say something about you.
What I'm saying is, it's marketing because if Scottie Pippen had that same backing behind him as Jordan did, then it would be a kerfuffle or
If
a kerfuffle, right?
if Scottie Pippen, put it like this, if Scottie Pippen would have, if you'd have switched Scottie Pippen and Jordan's stats, I mean offensive stats, then Scottie Pippen would be in the go to the conversation right now. But
he wasn't marketed as. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't
the
marketed.
nigga didn't average 30. He didn't average 30 a year.
He could have. What are you talking about?
He could have, but didn't.
Because
We
he didn't.
can't speak in.
Because he
Then
wasn't
that's
ball
his
hogging.
bad.
He
That's
wasn't ball
his
hogging.
bad, nigga. That's his bad.
I guess Scottie was more of a team player than Jordan then.
Al, you and them sensitive niggas, like
What you mean?
talking about Scottie's a team player, man. Man, basketball ain't for the weak, man. It ain't for no little. Cause see, all right.
No.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this.
Because, yeah, we're gonna do
You
this.
probably this is the difference. Okay, this is the difference of what I see here is you're one of those parents, cause that would take your kid, cause and they want them to play, cause and get a participation trophy. Yeah. Me, I don't want my kid getting a participation trophy, cause I want him to get a winning trophy. Yeah.
Don't ever put yourself like that. For real.
You want
Hey,
a participation trophy, cause you want the parents, cause they want one to, cause hell no. We want killers, guys. We want killers. I was taught to be a killer on the court. When I played with y'all.
Don't ever play yourself like that.
When we played together, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I can, people can attest, some people can attest to this, guys. And again, I say, give me the rock, cause you know what I'm saying? I always wanted the rock. But it wasn't just to score, though. It was to make the best play, though. Okay? That's what my killer instinct was. And I think that's what Jordan kind of thought at the same time. But the best play was what? His jump shot. So Scottie Pippen had a chance. You can't talk, you know what I'm saying? You can't go back and be like, hey, like, nigga, I wish. Because, like, Scottie, as you could have, nigga, Michael Jordan even sat out a couple years, nigga. And what did you do then? Because nigga, you averaged 22 points then, nigga. Like, I don't want to hear that mess. Yeah, you could have averaged 30, but you didn't have it in you.
So because he chose to get the team involved to make the team better.
The team, how was the
What do
team?
you
The
mean?
team wasn't better because
What do
they
you mean?
didn't win no championship. The team wasn't better at all when Scott Jordan took his break.
Actually, the team was pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty good, but they
No,
wouldn't win
I
the
mean, no. What
championship.
happened was that there was a play. You know about this. There's a play drawn up when Jordan didn't play, and it was drawn up for Tony Kukoc and not Scottie. Now, listen to this though. If that play was drawn up for Scottie, right, and Scottie hit that shot and won the game, you think Jordan would have came back?
I don't know, but I ain't speaking in no hypotheticals. I'm just gonna say this.
But what I'm saying, listen to
There
what I'm
was a
saying.
reason. Well, okay, but there's a reason.
Because there was
There's
a
a
fanfare
reason
for
they
Jordan.
nah.
Yada yada.
No, okay, no, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with this. There was a reason that they drew up the play for Tony Kukoc instead of Scottie Pippen. There was a reason for that.
Oh, because everyone would be keen on Scottie.
That could have been the case.
But if that was Jordan, they would have drew the player for Jordan.
Because that nigga
He
is proved to hit him. Yes, that's why they were 6 times champions.
Because Chicago was not ready to give the reins over to Scottie Pippen.
Man, they didn't feel Scottie had it in him to get the reins. He didn't have. If that was the case, then Scottie should have took the reins like a man. You know, saying to say, "Give me this motherfucker, I'm driving."
He did. He sat
no,
down.
He didn't.
He sat down. Was like, nah.
Nah,
he said, nah.
He
I
said,
can get the ball. I'm sitting down.
Yeah, because
Yep.
he folded.
And then Yep. And
he
then
folded.
you realize how much I mean to the team. I'm gonna sit down. I'm
Boo hoo,
Hey,
I'm gonna wait till y'all see how important I am.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm not hiding the back.
Hey, y'all know what it's like.
Man, that's bullshit. Straight killer.
Yeah, you guys.
That's why, and that is why Scottie Pippen could not be. Man, I don't hear that mess, man. You gonna draw up some old shit, man, make that nigga cry again, yeah. If he even listen to this.
What do you mean?
Because what I said is gonna be harsh.
I'm just speaking the truth. Like,
yeah, what I said is gonna be harsh though.
Oh, that's cool. Hey man, hey, shouts out to Scottie, man.
Hey, shout out to Lars too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucked up, man. You know,
it was a joke, man. It was a joke. Yeah.
Hey, Scottie gonna fuck you up.
Great, yeah.
Hey, but you know what though? Since we're talking about that, since you jumped on that, hey, shout out to MHS. You know, 95, 96, 96, 97. For those who know.
That shit up.
You know what I'm saying? We out here.
You know what? I would have been happy, but nigga, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go hard a little bit now. Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Nigga, it would have been fun to reminisce and do all that shit, nigga, but nigga, who's the Hulu?
What up?
To be honest, as this is a little, I don't know if it's petty or if, you know what I'm saying, if I'm a little butthurt or whatever the fuck, but nigga, I ain't reminiscing about nobody, I mean, shit from back home until people from back home start supporting niggas.
Wait, say that. Hey, for y'all listening, hey, I want you to say that one more time.
And we ain't supporting shit. I mean, we ain't reminiscing about shit from back home until back home starts supporting niggas.
Okay, so what's your
I bet, cause the
what's
only
your
reason,
broadcast?
and man, nigga, we do this shit. We did this shit because we thought people would support us from back home. We consistently been doing it. We developed these shirts because we didn't want to ask for money, just because, you know, we thought, you know, people back home were hardworking, you know, we respect that and shit
Right.
like that. Put the motherfucking shirts up, man. We got 100 and something, the most likes we ever seen on our profile ever. Hella niggas was commenting, you know, nigga, give me one, give me that. You know what I'm saying? I want one, nigga. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? We damn near, uh, what do you want to say? Trip and fumble over shit to get the motherfucking shirts out, man. And guess what? I don't even know how many. I think we sold maybe 2 of them motherfuckers, man. So fuck y'all from back home, kid.
I mean, is that the energy that you really want to put out there?
Right now, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. So, for instance, I've gotten to the point where it is what it is, man. I support niggas who support us, and that's how it is, point blank. So if you got a problem with it, I mean, it is what it is. But I understand what you're saying, T, because anyone who puts shit out, anyone who wants support, and they ask for it, we're the first ones to jump on their page, be like, oh yeah, you're doing great shit. Hey, let me get one, let me cop one. But I get it, man. So like your
Hey,
background,
Sam.
like your background says, spitting straight game. But yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. But I've gotten to the point to where, you know what, it's not about them. It's about, we try to do something for the city, and to let people be proud of us, and show them that we're doing things to move to a higher level, to a higher plateau, so to speak. But it matters to me none, man. You know, and I hate to saying this, but if you didn't, if I don't talk to you now, at this point, then I don't talk to you ever. You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say this too. You know, yeah, a lot of the shit we used to do was for back home, and we thought, when we said we thought the support would come and shit. Maybe we'll shout out to Amber and shit from back home because she listens to our shit. And we appreciate it.
Almost
But
definitely.
anyways, um, yeah, I don't do this shit for people from back home. I do this shit because I love. It's fun to me. I like talking, saying what I'm saying. I like getting my message out. I don't care if anybody listens because in the long run, you know what I'm saying? If you look back and maybe if we do make it, or even if we don't make it, I will be able to look back on this, and watch these shows and, be able to and pinpoint, some fun times that we had, doing this shit. So it'd be some great memories for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not even a point of if.
All right.
So, hey, man, the best of luck to everybody. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. Uh, Other than that, man, you can kick rocks.
With some dirty ass socks.
Nah, barefoot. Not even like real chonkless though. Like I want you to have like the Payless slippers on.
Fuck it.
Which which middle toe hanging over the front. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying?
We still love y'all from back home though, but we just going on. Just had to let y'all know because we ain't doing this shit for y'all.
There was never any love, man. I put like this: if you're not viable, if you're not doing anything, that helps them out, then you're just a commodity. Basically, you're just we use you for now and then move you on. And I look at this, which should have been a great teaching tool. Being older now, look at football, right? Look at what we gave to it, and when we were on, what we got from it. You know what I'm saying? But nothing now. It's like, hey, you're here for the moment, and you're gone. But then again, anyone back home, being in Seaside, there's no one back home in Seaside. Everyone's
All right.
moved. Everyone's moved. So, if you're down with us, you're down with us. I appreciate certain people who have purchased the T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Arthel, thank you, man. You came through.
Thank you.
You know what
Appreciate
I'm
that.
saying? Most definitely. But other than that, man, it is what it is. And niggas that comment on our posts like, hey, tap in. So, like, holla at a nigga. Like, say what you got to say. Don't. I just don't like that, man. I don't. I really don't. But hey, you can't really be bitter, man.
You better. I'm cool, man. So take us to the bridge, y'all.
And thank y'all once again for listening to Talking Spit After Hours. We are your hosts, TJ Bay and Alan Poe. If you like it, you like it. If you love it, you love it. We love y'all. If y'all don't love us, peace.